Alright, so today I have the MPC Live Mark II right in front of me. I have my record player and the SP1200. Gonna be chopping up some records and sampling into the MPC Live Mark II. Before I go any further, I just want to address anybody that has signed up to the MPC course. I have the MPC Live and the MPC 1 Plus course. The course will be updated in the next few days. I will be releasing chapter every week, updating the course with 3.0. So if you're signed up to any of these courses, be on the lookout for these updates. If you're not signed up, go down to the link of this video and sign up today. All right, so right here I have the SP1200. I actually have some drums that I recorded into the MPC Live. As a matter of fact, we can hear them right here. Now, I went ahead already and sampled that into the MPC, into this track number 1, which I have my drums. Now, I do have a record right here that I want to chop up and put that on track number 2. Now, before I start sampling off of my vinyl record, I do want to check out this arranger page right here on its own. This is actually really exciting to look at because I've been able to bring in audio. Like right now, I have the SP1200 going into the MPC Live. And if I want, I can actually record individual samples of audio into this arranger. Right now I have my drums, which that's what we hear. I have that playing for 2 bars. I have a 2-bar loop, and I'm going to create a new audio track. And this is just an audio track. It's not a drum program or anything else like that. This is an audio track. I'm going to go to my main page. On this audio track, I'm going to name this SP1200. And this is actually really cool for any of you that play instruments. If you play a guitar or bass or any type of instrument, this is my instrument. So you can actually lay down some drums right here using your pads. And on top of that, start laying down some audio track. For an example, I'll lay that tambourine on top of the snare. I'll add that right there just to spice up that snare. So I'm going to just hit record and play start and start adding that on top. And just like that, I have that audio track. Now, this could be anything, vocals, bass, guitar. It's pretty cool that we have that. If you got to edit any of this right here, you can go ahead and do so. Double tap that, and it brings up your editor right here. I can grab this and bring this down, get a selection, bring this out, copy that, bring it to bar 1. We can go ahead and paste that. Now we have a loop right here. Yeah, there you go. And I can bring this volume down right here. For me, is something that's very powerful, bringing in other audio sources or any other instrument into your workflow. I'm actually going to now start sampling this record and bring in some sample chops into a new track. Now, speaking about new tracks, if I create a brand new track and I want a drum program, I select drum, and this track is now attached together with our program. So we no longer have tracks and then we have to grab a program and attach it to the track, which was very confusing. Now, being right here in this track number 3, which is going to be my drums, right away I can just hit record, and I actually have my record attached to this. Make sure I'm getting some signal. All right. All right. So we got something right here. And now, if I want to jump in there and adjust some of my chops, I just got to double tap this waveform right here. As a matter of fact, every time I hit a pad, you'll see where I'm at within this entire sample that I chopped in. So if I want to adjust the beginning of that, I just double tap this waveform and it takes me into the track editor. We adjust this start point right here. Oh man, I go to my global and I'm going to bring this down -2, and let's listen to this with the drums. Hey! Right now, if I want this melodic sample to stand out a little bit harder, I can open up this channel strip XL, or actually I'm gonna go to my sends, and on my send one, if I select send one, it automatically will give me my return track. So this makes it a lot easier to access our return tracks without having us to menu dive as much. Now that I have my return track right here, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna send this 100%. I'm gonna send it all the way, the full signal. And I'm gonna go right here on my return track, bring this down because this is gonna be pretty loud. And right here, I can probably process this. I'm gonna go to my EQ, this para EQ. Now I'm gonna go right here and open up a compressor, bring up my ratio, followed by the harmonics. Oh, okay, I'm completely destroying this return track with compression, saturation. It probably sounds horrible if I were just to solo the return track, but as I'm parallel processing, keeping the sample track with the original sound, not EQing it, not compressing it, but just adding a little bit of this parallel processing right next to it, it almost brings the sample from sounding over here to right here. Now I'm gonna go over to send number 2, and as you notice that when I select send 2, it automatically brings up my return 2. So there's already a delay in return 2. So if I wanna give this sample some delay, I just crank that up. Man, that sounds awesome. Now, if there's two ways you could build a beat. My bad. I get sidetracked sometimes. I forget I'm filming, and look, this is what it's all about. Just feeling excited and feeling good when you're building something, whether you think it sounds good or not. When you're building something and you're just feeling it, that's a very powerful moment. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and I listen to this. I'm like, man, it doesn't sound as good as I thought. Now, working with sequences, I'm actually going to be working with this arranger instead of building with sequences. I feel like working this way, it's going to be a lot better in the long run. The only workaround using this arranger is going to be learning how to duplicate certain sections or bars. Like right here in sequence number 2, I dropped it down to 2 bars. Since I had built 2 bars with my drums and the tambourine or the shakers that I brought in from the SP1200, I made this into 2 bars. And now to double length this or to duplicate this, I just go right here to this editor and I could simply double length. Now it's 4 bars. I do that again, I can double length that. Now it just keeps going. You could make an entire song. Now I do have my sample chops right here, and if I want to lay something on top, I can just hit overdub, play start, and working alone with this arranger, I can build a song the way I would in any other DAW, if that's something that you're used to. The really cool thing about working in this grid or arranger is that I just did 2 bars. Let's say I'm happy with that. That feels good to me. But say in the next 2 bars, I want to switch it up and I want to do something different or switch up the melody or try different variations. I can stay within the same arranger or the same sequence, and I don't have to flip or bang through or create different sequences for variations. No, I can come up with a whole different idea in these next 2 bars. Oh, you see, like that's so cool. Now I have these bars right here that I feel very comfortable with. Oh man, I'm over here knocking down my microphone. But this is so fun. Like, I honestly, a lot of people have been asking me like, oh man, it kind of sucks that we have to relearn or readapt to a whole different workflow. Yes, but I'm telling you, I've been having so much fun working with this arranger page on its own. Something else that I noticed that they made it very simple and that's been really fun is, let's say with this track right here of my sample, I want to go ahead and put this sample. If I go right here, let's see my effects on this sample. Let's say on this sample, I want to add flex beat player. I'm going to add that right here. I want to add one of these scratch, let's say the scratch setting 1. Oh, that's so dope. Okay, let's say I want that right here as an insert. I go back to my main page. If I hold down Q links, if I press them down, now I'm able to go and have multiple different projects and assign certain Q links to these projects. Let's go to project number 1. Being right here, I select this first Q link and I'm gonna assign a parameter to this Q link. I'm gonna go down right here and I wanna select a specific track. Which track am I going to add this mapping to? Is going to be the sample track. And within the sample track, what do I want to map? It's going to be an insert, which is going to be an insert 4. That's the only insert that I have engaged right now. I go into insert 4 and it's going to ask me what parameter do I want to assign right here. I want this to enable and disable that plugin. So I'm going to select this one right here. And now every time I flip this around, it's going to turn on and then turn off that plugin. Go back to my main page, go to my arranger, and let's go ahead and hit play and I can go ahead and mess with that. Yeah. That is so cool. Now, if I hold down Q-Link, I'm actually going to go back to project 1 and I'm going to go to Q-Link edit and I'm going to assign this Q-Link number 2. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to put in a parameter. I'm actually going to go right here to tracks and let's go to our drums. I want to go right here to the mutes. Select that. So now every time I engage this, it will mute it on or it'll turn it on or off. Let's say I want to add an intro and we can record all this. If I hit this and I put this in write mode, I can I take that off of right and we go ahead and play this back and hear our performance with the automation. The number one question that I would get asked a lot, I'm having trouble structuring a song. How do I mean, I can make a sequence, but where do I go from a sequence? How do I make an intro, a bridge, a verse? Like, that's been the number one struggle for most people getting into the MPC and wanting to work in standalone. Because let's face it, if you have a DAW, if you're working in Pro Tools or Ableton, you could build tracks with your arranger the way we're seeing it right here. So it's different. It's a different approach versus when we would work in standalone, building sequences, and then at the end using song mode to piece everything together. But just a quick little demo of what I showed you. Bringing in, whether it's your guitar, mine was the SP1200, but you can have a bass, a guitar, vocals. If you're a musician, this is going to be powerful. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll do my best to reply to everybody if I could. But again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll catch you guys on our next video. Peace.